Hey, welcome back to Gracie Schwarzwald. I'm here with Eric on Mete, and we're continuing on with our complete Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Self-Defense Course. Recently, we've been working on takedowns from the knees, just to get you back to a recovery point. You had injured your back. Yes. But now we're continuing on with the takedowns, but we're returning to the stand-up takedowns. After this takedown section, which we have a few more to go through, we'll work on just striking, and then the fundamentals of striking, and then we'll go back to the standing self-defense, putting it all together, the clinch work and the takedowns and the striking in a standing self-defense context. But for now, we're going to explore a couple options, and that is takedowns from the rear. Okay, so this could happen in a number of ways. Later you'll see, maybe defending punches. I'm going to slip the punch, go to the back. It might be a grappling situation, arm drags, duck unders, things like this, but I end up on his back. And there's a few basic back controls, but what we're going to really focus on right now is just kind of our major back control. And so what I want is I want to have my foot outside his foot and this foot back. So I'm building kind of a triangle base, a good solid base. Now, just like the front, when I'm holding onto the front, here, I want our hips closed. If he makes space between our hips, that grip will break. So from here, I want to make sure that he does not separate too far away from my hips, because he starts stretching out, he's going to break, again, that hold. So you'll notice if he's standing upright and he starts moving his hips away, it's actually pretty easy for him to break that hold. So I want to compromise that right from the get-go and keep my hips closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck his hips in and drive my shoulder in this way to keep him bent as much as possible, so that he has to do a lot of work to get that grip break. Also, by the way, it's going to bring his hips and mine close together, at least my right hip and his. So I'm here. Now, the danger from here, okay, let me explain a couple things real quickly. Stand like this. I don't want to stand like this with my leg inside, because it's easy for him to reach down and start attacking my leg. That's why we step this leg back, one of the reasons. When I lock my hands, again, this is a self-defense context. I don't want to lock my hands in a gable grip, because he can attack all 8 fingers. I don't want to lock a ball and hook grip, because again, he can attack those fingers. So we're going to lock an S grip. When we lock the S grip, we covered this in our clinch class, but just quick recap. I lock the S grip and I tuck my thumbs in. So if he tries to grab my fingers now, it's very hard. Now, what I don't want to do is what I just did, I was just doing that to demonstrate, is lock in the middle. I don't like this because I feel like I don't really have control his body, his ability to turn his hips. So I'm holding here. I'm squeezing tight. Spin your hips. Yeah, it's easy for him to spin his hips. So I want to lock, you see how his hip structure is wide. I want to lock his hip structure. So I'm going to bring the arm around his body. It's going to be palm down, and the other arm is going to lock an S grip here. Okay, and I like to lock my wrist right on his hip bone. So I really lock that hip bone in place. So again, I'm not directly behind him. I'm off to the side a little bit. I reach across. I lock the S grip. Turn this way. I pull him in. Here. Now, if my head is up like this and my arms are down, there's a chance he can elbow me. It might even just be the back of his arm, but still, if I get lazy, there's a chance he spins, he catches me at elbow. So I'm going to bring my elbows up and hide my head. When I teach a kids class, I call this like the Dracula. I'm bringing my arms up and hiding. So I don't stay like this. I bring my arms up here. So now he's trying to elbow me. My arms are going to act like a protection. Okay. So now, once we've attained this position, we have a number of takedowns. The first one is going to be an incredibly simple takedown, and don't confuse that for not working. This works very well. It's a wrestler's mat return, very commonly used. So what I want to do is freeze his leg. This is something we see with a lot of our takedowns, right? We try to freeze a leg and then drive him over the leg, okay? Because every takedown is a trip. So I can literally block something and knock him over it, or I can put the weight on it so that when I push him, he has a hard time moving it and he falls over as if there was a block. This is going to be one of those. So from this position, what I like to do is kind of lower my arm just on that hip bone. So I'm not above it as when I'm squeezing. I'm going to actually drop it a little bit on that hip bone. And from here, I'm going to collapse my elbow in and down. So the pressure is down like this. This elbow can go up a little bit even to help. So I'm here and I press down. You see how that buckles that leg? That means that he can no longer step back because the weight has collapsed on it. So from here, once I buckle it, I'm simply going to open the gate, step back, and drag him to the ground, okay? If he's upright like this, it works pretty well, okay? But what I really want is here, when he's pushing back into me, I collapse, there. Now I step my leg back, put him down. Now, I can do this, let's get you on this side, by putting my knee down and rotating this leg back if I need to add extra weight to it, here. But for me, this is a really great technique for police or a self-defense situation where I don't have to go to the ground. So I get in here, I lock, maybe he's moving around a little bit, I give him a little push when he pushes back. It's, again, what I'm not trying to do is spin him. That's really important. It's like our, you'll see later with some of the other takedowns. I'm not trying to just do this, where he can spin that leg back. I want to push down as hard as I can to lock that leg in place, and then I rotate. So let's turn this way a little bit. So when I go, watch, I collapse. You see? Try to pick that leg up. He can't. Then I don't turn. I open the gate, put him down. Okay. So one more time. We're here. I drag. I'm here, elbows up. I pinch. Let's turn this way. Pinch. Get my leg out of the way. Step back. And then we're right here. Okay. So that is our takedown from the rear, hip fold. Very effective for self-defense. Really, really practice this.